The Grinberg method approach to heal from a trauma is through teaching how to go through the trauma through the body. We look at trauma as an experience that affects us on 4 levels. It affects the way we think, concentrate, talk, express ourselves. It affects the way we breathe and love and be in the world and do what we do. It affects our emotions and it affects our body and sensuality. All those levels are impacted in a way that the person that went through the trauma actually did something in each level that keeps the trauma trapped in the body. In a moment of trauma, there is something that we cannot digest or take. So in a way, our attention and energy break a bit, and we somehow manage to survive it, and then we are left with something in us that is making constantly the experience stay there in the background, and sometimes we relive it intensively. Now, this can happen in our heads because we're doing something not to see. In many of the clients I taught, I found that they send their attention out of themselves. Because in intense traumas, this is a very actual, powerful and effective defense mechanism. It throws you out of yourself that you will not be there when it happens. The problem is that you don't remember how to come back fully. And there is a part of you, and many times under stress and when you're afraid, you jump out of yourself and you leave your body behind. This is one of the things that a person has to learn, how to stay in his body. Because the most common response to trauma is to become bodiless. Because the body feels the fear, the body feels the pain, the body survives the moment, and we, in a tricky way, manage to pass through all of this, but not really be there. So we are left with something in us that affects our breathing, affects the tension in our muscles, and many times you can see that we try to become hard or cold or moving very full of effort and tension. All of these are actually efforts not to feel something. You see, we learned from childhood that fear is a terrible enemy, and every trauma contains fear or terror in large quantities. And when this is intense in us, we contract our belly and we stop breathing and we make immense effort that this energy will not overtake us. In a way, we are more afraid of the fear than what actually is happening around us, since we never learned to deal with fear. So when the fear is so intense, we actually send our body into a kind of shock, we disappear from our attention, and we leave our belly very contracted and with a very strong aversion to more fear. So when you're trying to heal from trauma, you have to learn to become silent. You have to learn to relax muscles intentionally. And there are many muscles that, unless they are touched, you never notice that they are contracted, because only when they are touched you'll feel how painful they are. You see, we get used to be less of ourselves and very tense and very much reducing ourselves. And since we got used to it, we don't see that we can learn to come out of it and become healthy and strong again. When fear is allowed to move in the body, and the process focuses very much, because to learn to allow fear, you have to breathe well, you have to be silent, you have to relax your belly, you have to be very physical, and you have to trust. You have to trust that your fear will not kill you. You have to trust the person that teaches you to be afraid, and you have to trust your body that can take that. Now, to trust already builds a foundation for healing from trauma. Because after trauma, many times we lose our confidence, we lose the trust in ourselves, the trust in our own power, because we couldn't avoid the trauma. So this, back to the body, learning to relax, learning to have the pain in a way that I can breathe in it, relax in it, and agree to really feel it, create a situation where the sharpness, the hardness of the trauma starts to be rounder. And you start to be able to relax in places you didn't know you were contracting before. And all of this creates a situation where the energy of the trauma that was buried in you is released, moving in the body, and actually is giving you strength. The more you learn actually to go through the trauma in your own body, and that you are the person that is responsible for that, the more the power in your body grows, the more the freedom possible for you grows in possibilities. To learn to heal from trauma actually makes you much stronger than you were before, and you get much stronger in the broken places that you carried.